Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Delram Ahmadi, and on behalf of the Southern California Youth Society, I welcome and thank you all for being here. My family and I were forced to leave Iran and come to the United States after the reign of terror began in my homeland. I grew up here, and I'm now a third-year university student majoring in political science and international relations. My 24-year-old cousin was executed, and my dad, Mustafa, spent 8 years in prison under torture only for sympathizing with Iran's main opposition, the People's Mujahideen Organization of Iran, the MEK. So you can imagine how I grew up when I came to the United States as a little girl. Although my family left Iran, we did not leave behind the realities. I was always curious about everything around me. I always wondered why my father went to jail. What was his sin? How about my cousin? Why was he executed? When I started going to elementary school, I faced a big conflict every day. In my home, my parents were always following the news about Iran, and I could hear about the atrocities and what the mullahs were doing. But at school, no one else was talking about these issues. The priorities were different, and that is what made me even more curious. I soon found this deep desire in me in wanting to do something, and wanting to change things. The more I learned about my father, the more I became proud of him, the more I wanted to be like him. I liked the fight I found in him, and I was always inspired by the fact that the mullahs wanted to break him under torture and wanted him to renounce his affiliation with the MEK. They wanted him on TV to make allegations against the MEK, but he refused. And I began to look up to these values: honor, dignity, and dedication. I felt that with these, there was a lot that I could do. The mullahs were able to imprison my father. They were able to kill my cousin, but they were not able to eliminate their way of life, because they represent a value that is eternal. Ladies and gentlemen, not only did the mullahs not eliminate the MEK, but I am proud to say that I am the third generation of the MEK. We cannot be eliminated. We cannot be eliminated. Our dedication to fight against the mullahs is eternal. My beloved friend Asiye, who is a few years older than me and had gone to Ashraf from California, was killed by the mullahs' agents. But in fact, she is alive. She is alive in every one of us here. My message to the Ayatollahs is simple, but very clear. Over the years, the courageous, selfless, and brave went across border to Camp Ashraf and devoted their lives to the liberation of Iran and ideal of freedom. These are the Ashrafis, who are now in Liberty prisons. I want the mullahs to know that the youth in Liberty have become today's role models for me and many others like me. They have shown us that no obstacle is insurmountable. This generation's addition to the previous will sweep the Ayatollahs from the political scene of Iran into where they belong, the dustbin of history. At the end, I want to tell Madam Rajabi that we find ourselves in Iranian streets among the protesters, and will ourselves in Camp Liberty to share hardship with them. Most importantly, we are the voice of the youth in Iran and those in Camp Liberty, and I want you to count on us. I have one more message, and this one is for the mentor of my father's generation, Masoud Rajabi. And I want to end with what my father used to chant in the streets of Tehran before he was arrested. The world must know that Masoud is our teacher. خلق جهان بداند مسعود معلم ماست. Thank you.